Okay, so now that you've been able to log into your Gmail account, right now we're going to go over some of the basic settings. Particularly the very first setting that you're going to want to do, I've already checked it in this case because once you do it once, it's going to do it, is come to settings and you're going to want to choose that priority inbox. And you're going to want to set your uh, email up to have show priority inbox. So once you've done that, click save. And when you click save, that's going to take you right back to your inbox, and it's going to your screen's going to go look for this. And we'll go into another tutorial why priority inbox is important, but you might as well do that the very first thing. The rest of this tutorial is going to be specifically set on what I personally get the most questions on, and what a lot of people, once they kind of learn their Gmail, they never really realize that these exist. And if you look here at your settings, you have this little green bottle, or you have this settings right here, and that's your labs. Okay, so once you click on your settings or the lab bottle, we're going to go over, if you click on settings, you'll see this tab here, labs. Okay, so what we're going to do now is these are all the labs that are set up, or that are capable of letting you to enhance or make Gmail a little bit better. This will solve a lot of the little things that you might miss from Outlook, or just stuff to make your life easier. I get asked almost every day what the most, or what I think are the best labs to enable. So I'm going to go through them right now. So the best way to do this is open up this video. You have it here. Be ready to use the pause button on the video, and open another window on your computer and have you get set to this labs tab in your Gmail. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to do that, and while you do that, I'll take a pause and we'll get ready to go here. Okay, so these are the labs that I think you should enable in your Gmail. By no means do you have to have these, but these just make your life a little easier. So we're going to go through each one of these. I'll briefly kind of explain them. If you want to learn more about each one, you can read their documentation, and you can actually go to if you just Google for Google Labs Gmail, and you can read every single one of them. But these are the ones that I think are really important. The first one, add any gadget by URL. Yes, you want that enabled. Advanced IMAP controls, don't worry about. App search, I think it's pretty good. Go ahead and keep that in enabled. Authentication icon for verified senders. This really is, it can't hurt you to have it. It'll just display that little key next to it. So we're going to go ahead and say, go ahead and enable it. Auto advance. This is the one thing that I have to have on mine. When I clear an email message, I delete it or archive it or whatever, I want to go to the next message in my inbox. I don't want to have to hit the back button or go back to the thing, and this one will do it. So this auto advance is a must. Back to beta, you're never going to use, just leave it disabled. Canned responses. This is another good one to have. And canned responses are, somebody sends you an email. This is particularly good on your phone, but hey, can we get together on this? Sure, no problem. I'm busy right now. I'll get back to you later today or tomorrow or what have you. These are the canned responses. You can set these up, and we'll go through these later, but you want that enabled, at least have that option. Create a document from an email. Absolutely. This is an enabled font. Custom date formats. This really isn't that important. Depending on what area of the world you're in, that's going to change that. If you want to have it, that's great. That's not a do or die in my opinion. I'm okay with what's there. Custom keyboard shortcuts. This is something for like real power users. If you want to use these, you can. I have it enabled on mine, but I don't, to be honest with you, I really don't use a lot of the custom keyboards. But for instance, like you can see, if you want the C button, compose a new email, you can do that kind of stuff. The next one, this is another good one. How many times have you hit reply to an email and you meant to reply to everybody on the email and didn't do it and had to resend another one? This is the reverse. This automatically sets everything to reply to all, and when you see that in the email, if you don't want it to reply to all, this one saves me a lot of time and a lot of mistakes, so I have that for sure. Default reply to all is enabled. Default text styling. Um, this allows you to go ahead and change the kind of fonts and stuff. And I know a lot of you are going to want that to match your site. I would say go ahead and click enable. Don't forget about Bob. I don't even use that one. I don't use this kind of stuff. Filter import export. This is pretty good. If you once you get your stuff set up, you want to be able to take your filters, and we'll go through filters down in another tutorial, but you'll want to take that with you, or if you have somebody else's filters that you like, you can copy them and do that. So we're going to go ahead and click enable. Flickr previews and email. If somebody sends you a Flickr photo, you don't have to like click on the image itself. It'll automatically appear, so I always click yes. The Google Calendar gadget, that's going to show you on the left-hand side what's coming up in your thing. Of course, I like that. Google Docs, any of your latest documents that you've done, I go ahead and have that enabled. Google Docs preview and email. I used to have that. I really didn't find too big of a need for it, so I'm going to give you a 50-50 on that one, and I'm just going to leave it undisabled for right now. Google Maps previews and email, for sure. I want to be able to see that quick without having to do a bunch of searching later on. Google Search, I do like to have that in my Gmail as much as I can do from that, so I'm going to go ahead and enable that. I'm a Google Voice Power user, so I absolutely want to be able to hear my voicemails inside of my email. This is particularly important if you have a team that you work with and maybe an assistant. You get left a voicemail, you want to be able to forward that voicemail on and say, hey, can you take care of this? This is a must-have enable. Got the wrong Bob. I don't use that. If you want to look into that, you can look down. Green Robot, I could care less about that kind of stuff. Hide the labels from subjects. I like being able to see the labels, so that is disabled in mine. Hide the read labels. Again, I keep that disabled. Hide unread counts. This is your own personal thing. If you want to look here, what it will say is, how many unread emails you have. This could be depressing sometimes if you're like me and you receive about 300 emails a day. It looks like a never-ending list. I leave it disabled, but you might like to know, what your unread counts are. Inbox preview. Again, I leave this disabled. This isn't really that big of a feature. Some people that have that come from Outlook like to have that. I found I was like that when I had Outlook, but now that before this little app or gadget was involved, I really don't find myself using it that much. Inserting images, I do like this. This is a power one. This is a must-have enabled. Mail goggles, just leave it disabled. Mark as read button, this is a must-have. Click enable. Message sneak peek, don't really care about. I leave it disabled. Message translation. If you have clients that, particularly like people here in California, some people have Spanish-speaking clients. This is a good one. If you want to be able to have auto translate, you can have that one. Mouse gestures, again, leave it disabled. Move icon column. That's if you in your emails, if you want to have your icons on the other side, not really important. Multiple inboxes, you're going to definitely want that checked. We'll go through that later. Nav bar, drag and drop. Yes, we're going to want that. Let's go ahead and leave that in there. Nested labels. Probably the very first thing you should be adding is this nested labels. And in another tutorial, we're going to actually show you how to really power use the labels. So make sure that's enabled. Old Snaky, I don't know what that is, so disable it. Picasa previews an email, just like the Flickr. Yeah, you don't want to have to open it twice. Pictures in chat, that's going to show you your chat pictures if they have pictures. I'd say go ahead, it doesn't hurt. Quick links, I think that's the same kind of concept. Just keep it enabled. Quote text, selected text. This is a really good one to have. Let's go ahead and enable that. Recently used these little characters I don't mess with. Refresh pop accounts automatically. Keep that enabled. Right side chat. This is if people that like the right hand read, you can have that enabled or disabled. That's just personal preference. I just like to keep it the way it is. Send and archive. This is a really must-have too. There's a lot of times that you shouldn't have to refile your accounts. This really has to do with how you set up your labeling and your filing system, which we're going to talk about in another tutorial, but go ahead and enable it now. Sender time zone. For Most of our clients, you're in a local time zone, and most of your clients are in a local time zone. But for guys like us, we have clients all over the world, so we like to be able to know what time zone they're coming from so we know when to follow up. So I'm going to say yes, keep it enabled. Signature tweaks, if you want to be able to adjust your signature, I would say for sure have enabled. Smart mute, I really wouldn't. This is a newer one that's there. It's up to you. This is a personal preference. SMS text messaging and chat, really don't use much of that. Leave it disabled. SMS chat gadget, leave it disabled. You'll probably use any of the SMS messaging right inside Google Voice, so not particularly inside of your Google Gmail account. Superstars. Google comes with the standard star. This will allow you to have different types of icons there. This is personal preference on how you want to organize stuff. You might want to come back to that after this tutorial and look at it. Title tweaks, you can leave disabled. Undo send, this is really important. And you can also adjust this. How many times do you type something in your email and go, oh man, I wish I could just stop that? You can do this. The max you can hold it back is 30 seconds. So this is a good one. You want that enabled. Video chat enhancements, you want enabled. And Yelp in previews. And for most of our clients, we're going to tell every one of you to have a Yelp account. And I would say, so go ahead and leave it enabled. These are all the labs that I recommend, that I have for the most part set up in my own personal. Once I have those all set that we have, hopefully you were pausing and coming back. You can, if you didn't do that, you can do that now and just restart this tutorial. Open up a separate screen with this page set up on your account. Hit pause on the video, go check enable, disable, and go through the whole thing. Hopefully this helps, and stay tuned for more tutorials.